Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Cloud cover is in abundance out there this evening, and that'll stick with us, eventually allowing some light rain showers and even a couple of snow flurries to mix in. Temperatures have been on the cooler side thanks to that increase in cloud cover, where you've got the 30s up to the north and the numbers in the 40s here a little further to the south. Our southeast wind will increase throughout the evening and going into the night tonight. The beginnings of what will be kind of an active next 24 to 30 hours. Starting here this evening with some of those lighter rain showers and even some sprinkles, but again, some dry air down close to the surface, not really allowing a lot of that reach the ground just yet. As we get into the overnight hours, scattered thunderstorms will be possible as temperatures drop down to about 40 degrees overnight. I've got the timing and the risk potential for the storms as they move in. That is coming up in the First Warn forecast here a little later.
Voters in Illinois and Wisconsin head to the polls. We'll look at some of the big races in the state line and check in on voter turnout.
Plus, a volunteer fair in Rockford tomorrow, how Lifescape hopes to help get community members connected to local nonprofits.
And the Final Four in this year's Makers Madness tournament. Find out if this state line product is still in the race for the coolest thing made in Illinois.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. Thank you for being here tonight. Today is Election Day here in the state line. There are more than 100 races across our area today.
Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. If you haven't already voted, there is still time. The polls will be open until 7 p.m. You need to vote at your designated polling place. If you're not registered to vote, you can register at your polling place. When you go to vote, just make sure you have 2 forms of ID. Eyewitness News reporter Rianne Weil is at a local polling place right now. She joins us live.
Rianne, how has the turnout been so far today?
Hey Mimi, hey Wendell. Well, actually, I'm here at New Zion Baptist Church in Winnebago County, where it has been a little bit of a slow day, but there's still a couple hours to come and vote to the polls. From what I've heard, it has been a pretty slow day, but ever since the pandemic, a lot of people are choosing to vote by mail this time around. But however you chose to vote, it is important that you made your voice heard, which is what Winnebago County Clerk Lori Gummo tells me is the most important thing to do. I spoke with her earlier today, and she explains the power we have when it comes to voting, and her hope for voter turnout numbers to be higher than they have been in previous elections.
A lot of people don't realize how much work, how much effort, and how much we spend as taxpayer dollars to be able to provide the local citizens with the opportunity to vote. So it's very frustrating when we don't get a higher participation rate. Again, we are so lucky as Americans that we are given this opportunity and that more people aren't coming out to cast their votes.
And like I said, the polls do close at 7, so you have a couple hours. There's people trickling in right now as we speak. Gummo also tells me that this is the last day to have your vote by mail card postmarked. Like I said, you can come out. There's a couple hours left. There's people in here right now, but that's it for now. So reporting in Winnebago County for your home team, I'm Rianne Weil. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rianne.
Well, there are several big races we'll be covering tonight across multiple state line counties.
One of the biggest races tonight is the race for mayor in Rockford. In fact, incumbent Mayor Tom McNamara is seeking re-election for a 3rd term. His focus is crime, strengthening neighborhoods, schools, and economic development. His opponent is independent candidate Derek Coons, a real estate agent on the Winnebago County Board of Health. His priorities are public safety and improving education in schools.
Also in Rockford is a race for 8th Ward Alderman. Independent Jason Leviscus is looking to unseat Democrat Karen Hoffman. All other Rockford aldermanic races are uncontested this year.
Incumbent Steve Johnson is seeking re-election for Machesney Park Village President, who they call mayor. Johnson has served as president since 2017. His challenger is village trustee Julie Bogey.
There are 3 candidates for mayor of Belvidere. Former Mayor Fred Brereton and current Alderman John Albertini are challenging incumbent Clinton Morris. Brereton is Republican. Albertini and Morris are both independents.
In Freeport, Mayor Jody Miller of the Citizens Party is seeking re-election. She has already served 2 terms. Her challenger is Democrat Joshua Atkinson.
These are just some of the races in the state line tonight. You can visit our website, mystateline.com, for the complete list. And there are 3 ways you can find out tonight's results. Tune in right here on WTVO 17 at 10 for live updates as those numbers come in. You'll also see the numbers on the ticker at the bottom of your screen and on our website.
Let's get back to our other top story. The day after the election day tomorrow could bring some heavy storms here in the state line.
Let's head right back over to Candace to hear more on this. Candace, what do we need to know?
Well, we've got those 2 rounds of thunderstorms potentially moving in tomorrow morning and then again tomorrow afternoon. But the afternoon thunderstorm risk will be somewhat conditional on what we see going into tomorrow morning. So let's break this down. About 3-4 o'clock tomorrow through late morning, some scattered storms, primarily with hail and heavy rain. That'll slow you down for the morning commute tomorrow. So just be aware of that. There could also be some thunderstorms that contain some gustier winds. And when I say heavy rainfall, maybe some ponding water on the roadway. So I'd plan for a slower commute tomorrow. Our focus is shifting a little more here to this Wednesday afternoon time frame, but again, that's conditional on what we see going into the morning. The slower those storms move out, the less opportunity we may have for our atmosphere to recover. However, the offset to that could very well be just some of the stronger dynamics we have going on in the atmosphere. So breaking this down, here's that storm threat into tomorrow morning. This is 4 o'clock. Some isolated larger hailstones will be possible, and through sunrise, that's when we could see some gustier winds occur. These breaks in the cloud cover could also lead to that risk of severe thunderstorms as early as about 1 o'clock tomorrow, remaining scattered going into the afternoon. Damaging wind and large hail would be our biggest concern, but I'm also looking at the risk for some tornado potential too, especially if we get some of the breaks in some of that cloud cover tomorrow afternoon. So we'll keep an eye on this for tomorrow. After that, it's much more quiet and a little cooler as we round out the end of the week.
All right, thanks, Candace. If you have some extra time, local nonprofits would like to meet you. Lifescape Community Services is hosting a volunteer fair tomorrow. It will be at the IBEW Local 364 on Mill Road. It'll run from 9 to 1. The event will be an opportunity for local nonprofits to meet with people interested in giving their time. An organizer with Lifescape wants to stress the importance of volunteering, not only for those you're helping, but for yourself too.
Everything is important to your community because it serves, on multiple aspects. So that's why volunteering is so important. I mean, me as a volunteer director, we have so many people helping, like our Meals on Wheels department, helping seniors and disabled individuals get those hot, fresh meals every day. And it helps you, like health benefits, so important. Helps with your sleep, your stress level. It feels good to help someone in need because you might have been there yourself someday, and now you can give back, which is super great.
Another volunteer fair will be held at the Loveland Community House in Dixon on Friday.
The final 4 products have been picked for this year's Maker's Madness bracket. The finalists are aerial firefighting pumps made by Nth Pumps in Plano, joint combined air crew systems tester made by Chimring Internetic Devices in Downers Grove, donor milk made by Mother's Milk Bank of Western Great Lakes in Elk Grove Village, an ROV skimmer remote operated oil skimmer made by Elastic in Carming. You can find a list to cast your vote in this story on our website, mystateline.com. The bracket style competition aims to find the coolest thing made in Illinois. Whiskey Acres Blue Popcorn Bourbon and DeKalb got to the Elite 8 before being eliminated this round.
A proposed bill in Springfield aims at supporting homeless people in Illinois.
When we return, what a local homeless shelter and a state line lawmaker have to say about the proposal.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
A bill moving through the Illinois House would try to help the homeless population.
Eyewitness reporter Tyler Sorensen talked with a local homeless shelter about the proposal. So, Tyler, what is this bill?
Well, Wendell, Mimi, the bill highlights treating people with dignity and getting rid of some hardships along with fines and other criminal penalties. A bill to make sure the homeless are able to try and get back on their feet is moving through the House, with the goal being not to criminalize homelessness.
One of the challenges is, they might face financial challenges. So criminalization of the homeless may lead to fines. It may lead to other obstacles that may limit their ability to get back on their feet.
House Bill 1429 aims to prevent local government from creating ordinances, giving fines, or criminal penalties to unsheltered homeless people. We reached out to Republican Representative John Capello of Machesney Park, but he was not available today. He opposes the bill, telling the Center Square, quote, "There's going to be homeless camps all over the place, and the police won't be able to do anything about it," end quote. For Carpenter's Place, it has a different approach.
I think that this bill definitely highlights the importance of treating people with dignity and really just eliminating barriers to working with the homeless.
It's trying to help an ever-growing community that for various reasons right now can't help themselves.
I think homelessness is a growing issue in our community, and we see a lot of different faces all the time, and so it's definitely a challenge that we're up to working with. We really want to support the homeless folks in our community, and so that's why we're really here.
It's a bill in the State House that's pitting the premise of helping the homeless over enabling them, a problem that seems never ending. Now the bill is still being held in the calendar in the Illinois General Assembly, and we'll have a second reading at a later date. Mimi.
All right, thanks, Tyler. Well, we could have some storms heading into the state line tomorrow, and we could see some rain as soon as tonight.
When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Candace King will tell us what the rest of the week may look like. Her full forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, the clouds, they are plenty out there late this afternoon and evening. We look live with our Mercy Off Sky Track camera here out in Freeport at the Park Hills Golf Course. This brought to us by Rockford Career College. Well, we don't necessarily have anything coming down locally. It's not that far out to the west that there are a couple of snow showers actually coming down. Our weather station out around Dubuque actually reporting a couple of light snow flurries. Temperatures in the 30s to the north, 40s here to the south. We're at 42. Our weather watcher Jean down in DeKalb currently is dealing with relative humidity at 45% and that wind at 12 miles per hour. The wind will actually increase here from the southeast through this evening. 42 also for our weather watcher Terry down in Genoa. Southeasterly wind now at 13 to 18 miles per hour. We can see the radar showing a little more activity here. Still some dry air down close to the surface, but you notice some of those darker colors showing up between Dubuque and Galena, Stockton and Elizabeth. So that's where, again, you might actually have some of that precipitation actually breaking through some of that drier air. Some snow flurries not going to be out of the realm of possibility. Not expecting a lot with any impacts to that, but just kind of a reminder that things are a little on the cooler side. This is all out ahead and kind of the leading edge of what our storm system will look like here as we get through early tomorrow and then throughout the day. So what we're seeing with this actually is some warmer air coming in aloft, which is what is producing that precipitation right now. But once that warm front gets closer to us, that surface warm front, that's when our thunderstorm activity will start to pick up here during the overnight. So taking us through Futurecast 7, 8 o'clock, we still continue with some of those sprinkles, light rain showers, and again, some snow showers, especially along and north of the state line. That'll continue to lift to the north. By about 2, 3, 4 o'clock, so within a 2 to 4 o'clock window tomorrow morning, scattered thunderstorms will develop. These have a low risk for severe potential. If we were to see any of the thunderstorms reach severe limits, it would be primarily for hail. We get a lot of elevated thunderstorms that produce hail just because they're forming over top of that stable air mass down here at the surface. So it'll be a noisy overnight, so kind of be prepared for that. And again, that risk with any of these stronger thunderstorms is going to be that hail potential. But as we near sunrise, there could be a couple thunderstorms that produce some gusty winds. That's about 6, 7 o'clock. Also with this, there will be some heavy rainfall. So I'd plan for a little longer time tomorrow morning for the commute. Those heavy downpours coming down, that'll reduce the visibility, maybe some ponding water on the roadways. The big question mark then going into tomorrow, how does our atmosphere recover? This particular model, which some of them have been doing over the last couple of hours, breaking up some of this cloud cover, pushing that warm front close to us and allowing the afternoon to kind of recover rather rapidly with these storms then rapidly developing, moving in from the southwest and then lifting to the northeast. If this is the case, we see scattered storm development, which would increase our severe threat into tomorrow afternoon and early evening, before then moving out once we get into about the 7-8 o'clock hour tomorrow night, and then drying things out. So marginal risk for isolated severe thunderstorms, with hail being our primary concern, and then that heavy rain threat throughout the overnight hours into tomorrow. Secondary would be maybe a gusty wind potential. Into tomorrow, we have that slight risk area wide, with the enhanced risk just to the southeast of us. Damaging winds and large hail would be our concern, but that tornado risk is there. So I want to make you aware of that window between about noon to 8 o'clock tomorrow for that heightened severe risk if we see everything come together. Drier conditions than expected through the end of the week.
Thank you, Candace.
Scott's next with sports.
We'll have the latest on the Ice Hogs, their push to make the playoffs, and the status of their team captain.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Every game from here on out is a big one for the Ice Hogs. They have 8 regular season games left, and they could finish anywhere from 3rd place to 5th place in the Central Division. They haven't yet locked up a playoff berth. Their magic number is 5. They're going to play back-to-back games this weekend against the 3rd place team, Grand Rapids. Hogs are only 6 standing points behind them and 4 back of 4th place Chicago. I asked defenseman Nolan Allen if the players are energized by what's at stake this week.
This is what we play for, right? We want to play in meaningful games, important games. So you don't have any trouble getting up for these games. A couple big games down the stretch here, and hopefully we're just looking to secure that playoff spot, and if we could enhance our position, that's even better.
The Ice Hogs had a new player on the ice for practice today, 6'7" rookie defenseman Tage Harding. He just finished up his college career at Providence. Harding was the Blackhawks' 3rd-round draft pick in 2021. And team captain Brett Seney was on the ice for practice, but wearing a yellow jersey. A team medical report last week indicated that Seney will be full go this week following his knee injury, but that might no longer be the case. The Ice Hogs are keeping quiet about injuries. Do the Cubs have something? And 30-year-old catcher Carson Kelly last night against Oakland, he hit for the cycle, a single, double, triple, and home run. The last Cubs player to do that was Mark Grace in 1993, 1 year before Kelly was born. The cycle was part of an 18-3 Cubs win. Tonight, the Cubs will send Justin Steele to the mound against the A's. The White Sox will host the Twins again. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Our first warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Glass and More. Will be pretty active here over the next 24 to 30 hours as we've got a few light rain showers, even mixing with some snow showers moving into the west and northwest. Thunderstorms will be likely overnight tonight. Some of those could be on the stronger side, potentially with not only some heavy rainfall, but also some hail going into sunrise tomorrow. Watching that thunderstorm risk into tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you, Candace.
And thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.